Okay, everyone, and hello, and welcome to another guide. This time a weapon tutorial on the hammer, going over the changes in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. If you're brand new to the hammer, I'll give you a quick crash course on how the weapon used to be played and can still be played in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Large part of it was switching your stance to the power stance, so make sure your hammer's bluish, purplish up in the corner. You'd be in strength mode, and you throw out these step smashes, and whenever you'd get a KO, you'd charge yourself up, either just by charging it manually and then doing an impact crater, or you would switch out to yellow, and then once you do that, you're immediately in level 3. You can immediately throw an impact crater out that way. If you didn't have any wire bugs, for whatever reason you used them, Big Bang was and still is pretty good. It does not do a lot of KO damage, but it does do a good amount of just normal damage. See, we didn't get a KO there. Also, what was available previously and is actually now pretty okay is the spinning bludgeon. After 4 swings, up to 5 swings, you can do a golf swing, and then you can combo that into a Big Bang and Big Bang finisher. Pretty good now, especially because we've got a lot of relatively decent elemental options in Sunbreak. Okay, so that's it for strength and the old playstyle. Everyone is here for the new things. So we're going to go over courage style and what courage style is like and what it looks like. We'll even go over the new spinning bludgeon charge and kind of like how that works. I don't personally like it, but we'll talk about. So courage mode was a bit of a meme. Used up a ton of sharpness, and it's not like hammer was very well known for doing very good elemental damage, but it worked a little bit similar to the Valor style from Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Basically, you would charge into combos, so you had level 1, level 2, and now level 3. New to Sunbreak, every time you do a golf swing, so out of your normal golf swing there, you can go immediately into your level 3. Likewise, if you're using Water Strike, which is your counter, you can do a golf swing there, and then you can do a level 3 in that way. So courage style, really cool if you like trying to land your Water Strike counters. Not only do you get that golf swing there, you can then immediately go into a level 3. Likewise, if you're going for a KO wake up, or a type of wake up like that, you can sometimes wake up by doing a golf swing into a level 3, which is an option. If you're using Dereliction, you might only end up seeing yourself using that. Big change, huge buff to the weapon is a switch skill. It is called Impact Burst. Impact Burst does 5 hits. 6 hits. All those hits do element, and it adds a little extra proc of damage whenever you hit the monster. Now, this is a little interesting in that courage style on its surface would be like, wow, this is going to be so good for element. Unfortunately, the little bursts of damage it does actually do not deal elemental damage. It's just raw damage. Still absolutely worth using, but it's worth keeping in mind that as you're building your sets, and you may want to have element, you do not get any element on those little bursts. Also, somewhat controversial is whether or not you want to run Focus 2 or not. Focus 2 makes it so that when you're in courage mode, whenever you do your second hit there, you always do 2 hits. If we take off Focus 2, we now only hit once. So it's a little controversial. I mean, there's definitely an opportunity cost to having it on there. With the Garngolm arms, we do technically get the Charge Master skill. Charge Master is 5% more element, that is. Which for us would be maybe 3 element. And on a 30% hit zone, you might see 1 additional point of damage. So it's not worth going out of your way for yet. I don't know if Capcom's going to boost it. I don't know if they're going to give us a decoration that's going to give us 3 points of it. If it were worth 15% more element, it would be great. As it is, it's not very good. So it's important to remember Courage is a very sharpness-intensive playstyle. As such, you're likely going to want to run Protective Polish or just a weapon that has a ton of sharpness, like maybe a Valstrax weapon or something like that. And then normally you're doing a combo like this, and then on a big down, usually you go into Spinning Bludgeon. Get the KO there, if you hadn't gotten it already, and then go into the Big Bang Finisher. And that's pretty satisfying. That does a ton of elemental damage, it does a ton of raw damage. Because you've got Focus 2, if for whatever reason you're in good position to anyways, you could always go into another Spinning Bludgeon again. And for the most part, that's how you end up playing the weapon. There's no reason you can't use it with Impact Crater. So you could have on your second switch skill the ability to go into Impact Crater and use this on downs. Perfectly good, perfectly acceptable. If you're not running Dereliction or anything else that would normally want to prevent you from switching scrolls, I would almost even really recommend doing that. There's no reason not to. Whenever the monster's in a wire bug state, whenever the monster's in a sleeping state, whenever you have a ton of wire bugs, and they're just going to be flinched soon, it's still very good damage. But as you can see, of course, when we do the total amount of damage from Spinning Bludgeon, even without the impact waves, this still usually ends up being a bit more damage. But this also does significantly less KO, so keep that in mind as well. Big difference to the different Spinning Bludgeon skill. Its purpose is to get you into Purple Stance a bit faster. Kind of could reverse the way you play the weapon, so maybe you use your Purple Stance to do Impact Crater. And then going back to doing the other one and going back again. Can't really say I've done enough practice on it. That style really only works with strength. In Courage, it puts you into level 1, and then you have to start comboing your way out of it anyways, which just does not flow very well. So in terms of the way the weapon's going to look when you build for it, this is the set that I'm going to use to fight Great Baggy. Nothing particularly amazing here. I'm choosing to show off a set that isn't going to be using Dereliction or anything like that. I assume if you're a Hammer Master, you probably don't really need my tips on Hammer. But assuming we are going to be running Courage, I do prefer to run Focus. We don't lose out on any attack boost with this weapon. We still have 90% affinity. We still get good number of points in fire attack, crit boost, weakness exploit, protective polish. I'm able to put 3 points of sleep resistance in for Great Baggy, 2 points of focus, and then we've got 1 point of Wirebug Master, 1 point of Charge Master, and 1 point of Chain Crit. So all in all, a pretty well-balanced set. This particular weapon, it'd be way too much effort to get to Purple Sharpness. It definitely would not be worth it versus just boosting our attack all the way up to 7. And so with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and throw up our Great Baggy hunt right now. Okay, so here we are. We're going to be hunting Great Baggy. I figure for showing a tutorial hunt, no need to go all the way into extreme. It's also nice because this set has a little bit of flexibility with deco slots. It's pretty easy to fit sleep resistance 3, which in my opinion, unlike when you're fighting Great Ragi, having sleep resistance 3 helps out quite a bit. Other nice part is, of course, Great Ragi is one of the most elementally weak monsters in the game. He takes 40% fire all over his body. So a pretty good demonstration of Courage Hammer, which is actually going to get quite a bit amount of elemental damage out. Of course, the things that you fight don't necessarily need to be 40% weak to the element for it to be okay. In general, though, I would say for Hammer, more so than most other weapons in terms of the balance in the game, don't sacrifice really much, if any, raw for element. Outside of some situations where there might be a really bad hit zone that you want to hit because you're having a hard time breaking spots and things that you wouldn't normally target. And even then, just the way the new impact skill works anyways, just don't sacrifice too much. You don't necessarily need Purple Sharpness. Just white sharpness is fine. Max out your attack, max out your crit, and you'll be doing okay. So you can see here with Baggy, you can see we've already started to use our normal combos. Basically, whenever we know we want to stay mobile, we move to Courage. It helps us stay on him much better, helps build up KO a lot more efficiently than we would otherwise. We can still get off our little extra hits. I don't really use too much water strikes on Baggy. For the most part, it's not like he's hitting us really hard, so it's not like we have a roar we can counter or anything else. What that does mean, though, is that we're able to be a little bit more aggressive with trying to hit our spinning bludgeons. Missing the golf swing there hurts, but the fact that it immediately goes into the end of Big Bang 3 and then 4 really makes it not hurt that much. So I do have Impact Crater. Everything else is the same on our blue scroll. We use this as an opportunity to get a big hit off because he's in that state. It also means that once we're done with this ride, we're probably just going to end up going back into another Impact Crater ride again just before we go back to our normal red scroll and start doing Courage combos again. I figure you're in the air, you may as well spend that time charging. And again, we're in yellow, so may as well take this as opportunity to get another spinning bludgeon off. It's really amazing how good that skill is. That skill has almost never had a place in the series. Like, sometimes you'd use it in Freedom Unite to try and line up a specific golf swing at a certain time. But otherwise, it's never really been that good. All right, only a couple minutes in, we're going to go ahead and sharpen because, again, this is a very sharpness-heavy playstyle. We're going to try not to get totally annihilated by this hill. We are. You've seen nothing. That's okay, though. We're in Courage, so we could always just do our golf swing into a level 3. And that's still fine damage. Impact Crater does benefit from the one Impact Burst skill as well. It's not a ton of damage, but if you're playing this playstyle anyways, it's worth keeping in mind that that is a small benefit that you do get from those charges. All right, he's already in blue, which means we're pretty close to finishing this. One zone clear, to me, is usually pretty decent. Like, I use that as a pretty reliable metric if the hunt has gone well or not, if I can kill him in one zone. Also, it didn't even look like he even had a chance to finish any of his afflicted states as well. That actually kind of worked out. It was definitely a lot of elemental damage. We hit him quite a lot as we were spinning over his body, and we did land the final hit, so that definitely could have been worse. Take advantage of the fact for each specific monster, by the way, you know, once you knock them out of an afflicted state, they go into exhaustion, which means you can start using some of your greedier, more time-intensive combos to try and get hits off. All right, so basically same set I was showing before. What you would normally drop on this set first is you would drop attack. As long as you're at attack 4, that's fine. Anything more than that just comes from whatever talisman you have and how lucky you got with that. All right, so hopefully this video helped you out a little bit. Hopefully taught you a little bit about Courage Hammer in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. If it did help you, please go and check me out, twitch.tv/sdshepherd. Stream there basically every day. If you haven't bought the game yet, nexus.gg. You can pick up a copy of the game there, usually on some form of discount. Outside of that, If you haven't yet, like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Those analytics do help quite a lot. It doesn't cost you a thing, completely free, and it does help support this channel. All right, until next time, I love you. Let me know what you want to see next down in the comments below. Good luck. Have a good hunt.